Hey everybody, welcome back to ACES53 with Ed Parcaut and myself. And today is a Tuesday, so that means it's just Ed and I. On some Thursdays, we bring in a special guest that we call a joker, and that's somebody with a special skill or talent that we want to share with you guys. However, it's just us. We're catching up. I was at Go High Level last week. Ed's been still working away on his app. So you get to listen in while we catch up a little bit. So how you doing, Ed?
Good. How was High Level?
It was good. Last week was a crazy week. So High Level, the VIP started. Here's one thing I liked. They did backwards is for the affiliates that helped them out, they had the award for that part, like people who reach new levels in the affiliate market. They did a VIP welcome party, and then they did the affiliate party. And so they let people see on day one what's possible if you want to resell High Level. And we've talked about this before. They're taking the industry by storm. So they got listed as the #1 AI automation tool out there for marketing. And
High Level did?
High Level did, yeah. And so they gave away awards. And for people who got over 100,000 in like new clients coming on board underneath their affiliate, they got these jackets that look like NASA jackets because, you know, the High Level looks like a lot of spaceship type stuff. So they had the regular VIP party. It was a welcome party, a mixer, that kind of stuff. And then they had this affiliates only after party. So we went to that and they had kind of some fun stuff. I mean, that ice cream, open bar, buffet, all that kind of stuff. They even had a claw machine, you know, to go and grab stuff out. And they had a lot of speakers was there. So, ran into Billy Jean again when he was there. So, we'd just seen him, in San Diego 2 weeks prior.
Correct. Yeah.
When we were out there, or 3 weeks ago, whatever. So Billy Jean was there. Adley was there. So a lot of the people who were speakers at the event stopped by also. I didn't even realize it was Billy Jean. So I went to go put my ice cream down. He's like, Galke. Well, he didn't say Galke. He said you. Anyway, so talked to him for a minute. But it was a good event and a good way to start it off. And then Tuesday was the full day. I kind of snuck away from that to be on last week's episode. And what's funny is I guess Tuesday night, I had my daughter. So I went and took her to swim practice and all that. And they did a rave bingo party, and people must have gone hard because when I went back on Wednesday, it was half full, that morning. And they had some good speakers. They brought in one of the CEOs or one of the main guys from Google talking about where they're going with everything. They brought in several different speakers that were in the industry. And then they had a lot of breakout sessions. The breakout sessions were people that were showing you either here's how I create content, here's how I use AI, or they had kind of I'm an affiliate, like you could pay to have a spot and you could almost like pitch your product. So some of the people got up and said, hey, look, this is what service I offer. This is how it works. This is the fee. So you had to, like everything else, you go watch the main stages, then they break, and then you can figure out what you want to go to. But I would say probably the most amazing thing is, once again, just like last year, they dropped 200 or 300 different new features.
Yep.
That you can do. And, Joel was with me, and Joel who helps me run mine. And so we were there and they went through all the new features, and it's crazy that, I don't know, have you refreshed your app on your phone?
No.
If you do, if you go download the new one, they dropped everything when they were there. And now there's a ton more options, but basically you're gonna be able to do everything in High Level. There's not going to be a lot of reasons to go to other places. I can see them coming after school. I can see them coming after other software where you have to go external to do something. And, because school's kind of lost its momentum now that Hormozi's book launch is over. I still see people trying to use it, but it doesn't seem as prevalent as it was. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I could see that. I think it's still, Cosm uses it.
Cosm uses it, but I think the people who are using it either had a base before or they were very successful in helping with Hormozi's book launch. So you keep up with Austin Armstrong and some of those on Facebook, right?
Not really.
Okay. So Jonathan Mast, he's a big AI guy. We need to have him on. Super nice guy. And then Austin Armstrong that we both saw in San Diego, they're all in Vegas right now because they were the top affiliates for Hormozi's book launch. And so they get a one-day special session with Hormozi.
Right. Yeah. Well, I remember that from Hormozi. I just didn't know who was doing it.
Yeah. So that's, the only reason I know it's because they all have been posting this week on Facebook of we're in Vegas, go meet with Hormozi today. So, but point being, so many places, and you and I were at the event in San Diego where they talked about HubSpot lost like 80% of its traffic
because
people are using AI and everything else. The amount of AI things that they turned on within High Level is pretty amazing. And even more so, they saw, well, you know this, they saw where the market's going, and a lot of things that they were charging for AI agents and things like that are now free. So I sent you a list of all the different features that they did last week, and it was hard to keep up with it because there were literally like 300 features that they all released that were either going to be right then and there or they'd be done by the end of this month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at it and there's a lot of new stuff. I mean, what you would use a lot of AI for, like Lovable to create landing pages. You can now do that inside of High Level.
Yes. They're trying to make themselves sticky that you don't have to leave them. And it makes sense, right? And that's any business. The more things you can give a customer that are all in one place and they can trim out other software, the less likely they're ever going to leave you. And but yeah, there was a crazy number of how many people they have on High Level. I'll have to look through my notes and see, but it was an astounding number. But it was like now they've got like X amount of employees in X amount of countries. It was pretty impressive.
Sure, they keep growing. I mean, it's huge. They started what, in 18, 19? So,
something like that. And then they announced the other week that they're building headquarters in Dallas now because, you know, most of them are virtual. Right. So they're building a headquarters here where they can have small in-person events. They're going to have a little community, like a creators community where you can go and record podcasts, things of that nature. I'm trying to find the post real fast because Rob and Alex announced it on his page the other day. And he's one of the 3 founders that are there. Let's see. Yeah, so they've just been posting recaps from the event. And they did, man, their content team, literally you'd wake up the next day and they'd already have the content out for where they're going to be, you know, what last night's party was, people walking through the event, you name it. So I don't see it, but I'll find it later. But yeah, basically they announced that they're going to do a Dallas headquarters. So they are fully into it now. And even I follow their teams since I spoke there last year, and they're already back out in other places. I mean, it's just freaking nuts.
What do you mean back in other places? You mean, what do you mean by
like they're already out in other states, other events. They just shut theirs down last week and they're already at new events. I mean, they are keeping the people busy and just really hitting the road with everything here. So yeah, I can't find it. I'll find the other post. Maybe it's under the High Level Facebook. But anyway, you get the idea. Anyway, enough about High Level. What about you? Last we talked, you're working on the app.
Yeah, the problem is I'm trying to make it so, all right, when it was just Mission Brief, when I first did it, which was a Cast Magic, looked like it did great content when it wrote all the different titles and everything else, but it wasn't in your voice. Yeah. It wasn't certain things. And so I created all these agents to do this stuff. And then, of course, that is now becoming issues. It's not. So, I mean, I created this huge intelligence for it. Let me see if I can open it up and show you. Sure. All I got to say is it ran perfectly to a certain point. Then I added more features and then those worked. And then I added more features and then I added intelligence to it. Now, once I started adding the intelligence, it's causing problems where it doesn't complete certain things like it's supposed to, like it did the first time. And then you talk to it and it says, well, we just need to do this. And then it does that and that doesn't fix it. Mm-hmm. So it's just little headaches like that, you know,
little things.
What are you going to do?
The more complex you go. Yeah.
Yeah. The easier the app is, easier it is. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Let's see. Which one is this one? Yeah. That. So let me show you the screen. If you can still see me. All right. So if I go back to this is the Pod Veteran. It's always been here, but see intelligence. I created NeuroOps, Cerebral Ops, Voice Genius, Intel Ops, and this Recon's not working yet. But NeuroOps is all these little groups of agents that does stuff. Like these guys go out and get their research for you of how to change things and what's happening right now. Okay. This is
like things that are popular in the market right now.
Correct, exactly. And I'll show you once we get in there. List Ops looks at the performance of here and certain things that need to be improved. like predicts oncoming trends and recommends proactive content strategy. This over here will analyze virtual thumbnail trends, color psychology, design best practices. So for everything you create in this thing, it goes out and finds the best thing for it.
Wow. Okay.
This Hawk Ops it actually does that. It's an agent that oversees the creation of your stuff.
Okay.
So the other stuff's the intelligence, and then you have this guy who actually is the one that oversees to make sure the content creation is correct. And then I added in RizOps, which is going to make sure the system's working well and it checks for issues so that it doesn't break on you.
Interesting. Okay.
While you're using it. All right. And this, most people won't see this. This is just for me to look at. And then over here under rate, I mean, this will go across every user to see what they're doing and fix it. And then they get the information of what everybody's doing and the wins that everybody gets. But their information doesn't go out there.
So it's just person A, fix this problem here.
This is, well, I monitored this and I see this issue. We need to make these changes. Right. And this one does predictable errors. It looks to see where it's going to happen before it breaks because of volume and certain things. So this is just something that was like, I didn't even, see there's 65 different agents I have, 27 are scheduled to go. Other ones happen as it's being used. There's 177 active right now looking at things, and they've executed 843 of these things since I started this thing. But and if you look over here, activity just tells you what's going on with everything you're doing. And then this, you can actually chat with Radar and tell them.
And for people who haven't been watching previously, this is something Ed's been working on in vibe coding for the last month.
Well, when did we get back? It's been from San Diego. I didn't start it for I started the mission brief part, which is down here, which is just kind of like a cast magic. But the difference is it actually uses your voice. You upload a book, you upload certain things that will use your writing voice to write the blogs, write all the stuff that should come from you. It's going to write for you. And if you have a co-host, they can do the same thing. So they'll give you not only your Twitter feed thing, it'll give your co-host the Twitter feed thing.
Sure.
So each one, when they promote it, they can send it out and it's going to be in their voice.
So it was 3.5 weeks ago, almost come up on a month that we were in San Diego. So you started this roughly 2.5 weeks ago.
Correct. And then
that's what I think is important for people to see is no coding experience. You went into, you pick up things fast. Let's not make it sound like everybody can do it as easily as you did. But we went there the one day while Perry or whoever was talking about Replit, you jumped in and immediately started playing with it. And then you went to the vibe coding breakout session they did and got an app started while they're there. And then you've just continued to tinker with it since then.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Yeah. And what it does is what'll happen is, so this intelligent, I just shown you, it's because this oversees everything. Because I wanted something to make sure that as more people use it, the smarter it got and the more that you could get from it. And this is what I'm talking about. So this, it found that audio normalization at a negative 16 LUF provides the perfect loudness for podcast audio.
Interesting. Okay.
Now you go, and then there's another place where you can re-look in this more. If you want to apply that pattern so that you have it, then you just click apply pattern. And then we'll do that with your podcast stuff.
It'll fix your volume to that?
Yes. It will make sure under audio ops, because audio ops actually goes through. That's where I'm having issues right now because I'm very particular on certain things.
Right.
So when I go here and it shows it's messed up, I don't want anybody complaining about it. But when I go to audio ops, I want it to show two waveforms, before and after. It worked perfectly before, but once I started putting in more intelligence into it, I'm having issues. So what this will do is it has your original audio. See, it's analyzing right here.
Yep.
It auto analyzes. Once it does, it picks which one to do. And if you come down here to see what it adjusts, the background noise, volume noise. So right here, target loudness.
Right.
Negative 16. Somebody must have applied the other thing that it found. And then you can add, and what happens is, see all these things. Well, it's already set up. You got military grade, which does all these differently. I think we talked about this before. And then you have podcast standard, which does this, but it doesn't do everything else. And then studio quality. And it will auto analyze and pick the one it thinks you should do. And then you do that one. What's not happening here is this: I had this auto waveform and it would show before and show after, and you can go back and forth between the two and see it. It has to do with the fact that how I have it being since it's in production, I can't get it set up properly right now. So when this is done, it's going to pop a second one here, and then you can hear the difference, and then you can just say process audio and be done.
See, and for people who don't know, this is something you always wanted, but it wasn't out there. If it would have been a year ago, 2 years ago, you would have been out massive amounts of money to even get as far as you are right now. Because basically people held you hostage of like, I'm a coder, I want X amount. I mean, I think you and I were talking before. I met a guy a year ago at a thing. He's like, if you want a basic phone app, just basic, it was $8,000 just to get started.
Right.
You know, and now what you're able to do is just crazy.
Well, and this is also, I just has a couple little bugs I got to fix. But then what happens? So you do this, then when this is finished, then you go to mission brief. And this, again, this is where I'm having some issues. So bear with me here. And it has to do with the fact that, and I'll show you this, the fact that I want it in your voice, period. Otherwise, don't even bother me. Because what'll happen is you don't want AI stuff out there. When the posts that you see, so right now it says right here, I don't know if you can read it. It says brand voice host, 0 confidence. It lost my thing. So it's original. So what happened is I created, where is it? Voice Genius. Yeah, I know. Boy Genius. I should have called it. But I mean, this is and then, so here's all the different voices and then this is the host voice, me. It has a learning score, but what happened is it lost the connection to me because it's adding all this extra stuff that it shouldn't. So if you go to the brand library and you go to, so the host voice should be host voice ed.
Right.
And so I uploaded a writing sample. So it's adding additional stuff that it's not supposed to, and it was supposed to fix it. And that's the thing you run into. You think you fix it and it didn't fix it. And that's what I'm running into. But once it's done, all the blog posts, everything will be in your voice. So, and that's what you want. So when it will, the way this is going to work is you drop your podcast in here. It does everything automatically. You get to the end, and all you have to do is make sure you have the schedule pilot done, the launch bay, which is so. I mean, clicked on the wrong one. I'm sorry. And it's slow because I'm inside the system. I'm not outside of it. But 4 jobs is it puts everything together of your podcast, opener, music, bumper, everything. So you select your project and you put the hook, animation, whatever you want in it for YouTube, and then whatever you want in for your podcast. And these are the main 2 pieces that you have. Right, your full podcast and your full YouTube, and then it puts it all together, and then it goes. Then you go to Launch Bay, you make sure it's perfect, and then the schedule pilot is how you have it set up. I want every Tuesday at this time to drop everything. So once it goes, it's done. So eventually and you can see it's using viral optimization. That's all through the AI stuff that it goes out and finds stuff.
So basically, it's all the things that you would have had to use a VA for previously.
Every piece of this, every one of these is a VA,
right?
Because right now, I mean, this roster ops, it has to do with the hosts.
Right.
You know, you put in the host and then the guest will show up, and you can, here's something else I did. In order to create thumbnails, you need pictures. So if I edit this, you put in these pictures: surprise, happy, thoughtful, shocked, neutral, curious, and calm. You see right here, Brian? I know you're looking at something. Sorry. So you put in
on my phone. I want to show something when you're done here in a second.
So you put this in. So you put all these pictures in here on a green screen. You just take the pictures of, because everybody has a green screen. Most podcasts do. You take a picture of all these different things, upload it. And when you upload it, guess what? It automatically connects it to the whole system. So when it goes to see how it analyzed my original picture and says I'm ugly? It'll do the same thing for all the other ones. And then what the reason I have that do that is so when you come over to make your thumbnails, depending on what the title is and what they recommend you should have, that's the picture it's going to use.
Got it.
If Well, and then the Clip Rocket is the Opus Clips version of what you just need. But one of the things I created in here, and this wasn't supposed to be a podcast about my podcast thing.
No, I want to show something else here in a second too.
All right, well, I'm almost done. What this does is, if say that under here, it says, oh, by the way, 11-second videos do really well on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You can then click the button and add that in, so that from there on it adds in. And if it doesn't say that in here, you just go over here and type it in and say, hey, Radar, I heard 11-second videos do really well on Instagram. Can you add that to my clip ops? And then it will.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah. And so this is supposed to be start to finish. So you only have to drop it in. It does everything for you. The other last thing is I like quotes,
mm-hmm.
From podcasts, so you can do additional stuff, but that's a lot of work. Well, it's going to auto make them for you, and it's going to extract viral quotes, and it will put it on a video so that you can then also post it to like TikTok and everything else, So, I mean, that's pretty much it for me. I thought it'd be done by now. But because I keep adding, like I'll sit there and I'm like, hey, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do that. And then one of the biggest issues is handling the large content. I don't want to upload an MP3. I don't want to, and then upload an MP4. I just want to upload an MP4 and be done with it.
Right.
And that's the problem.
So I'm going to show something different for everybody who doesn't need something this extreme, right? This is the new, let's see if it shows up here. Come on. There we go. So now you can see I'm doing phone sharing. So Meta AI just released their new app, or their new update to their AI. So you can come in, you can get a video of anything you want. So kind of like to compete with Sora and some of the other ones, but you can come over here in the upper right-hand corner, you can click add a photo and say, I want to animate anything. And so I took yesterday just a picture of me at a trade show, and it made a video. And I did a post about that earlier today. Yeah, earlier today. My days are running together. But you can pick any picture you want and say, okay, animate. So this is just a picture of a cigar that I have buddies who all smoke cigars. So when I'm sitting outside, I say, okay, well, I send a picture of it. But what it'll do is it'll take any still photo and turn it into a video. And that's kind of scary to a degree of what it can do, but it takes seconds and you can upload anything. But I'll show you this one, which I know will work, and I'll show you where it can't quite figure things out. Like I was trying to,
like Sora. Sora's good, but it's not amazing.
Right. And it's the same, but this is literally all you do on this one. Like in Sora, you got to go record your cameo and do a bunch of different looks. This is you take any photo. So like I didn't do that. It did all that on its own.
Yeah, but guess what? On iPhones,
yep,
it already has that amount of video when you take a picture.
I know. Well, that's if you do a live, but you can take one. This was one I did a screenshot of, right? And I'll do it. Let's do a different one. This one I know will kind of create a funny result, but I got a weighted vest to walk in, and I was trying to see, like, adjust the straps and see what it looked like and all that. And so let me put it up here. And what's funny is because I didn't put my face in it, it actually thinks it's looking at my back. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Once you upload a picture, you just have to say animate. But it's scary because what I did the post about is this day and age, if you're not there or you don't know somebody who was actually somewhere, you can't believe anything. Because now
that's why I think the AI stuff will get to where people will do it for fun stuff, but not educational stuff that we want.
Right.
And then, so that's amazing. I mean, and again, that's why Sora has the stuff in there that this was, their names on there and you can't take it out. You can, but it's a copyright infringement if you do.
Correct. But here with Meta, it doesn't have any watermark or anything because I saved a video and posted it yesterday. So, like,
who is that guy?
Obviously, that's not me. That's funny because that's a different video than it had yesterday.
Yeah.
Because yesterday, look, I pulled a gun out of somewhere. Yesterday when I did it, it ended up showing, let me see, does it have a history? It doesn't. It had me walking backwards and thought that the gray in my beard was the back of my head. So we try. I want to just see if I do it one more time. Go animate my photo. Which one did we grab? We grabbed, me walking. I'm going to try it one more time and see if it if it does it. But it's fun to play with. So go out, tinker with it and everything else, but it also should scare people to a degree because especially, take this weekend. I don't care what side of the fence you're on politically. Don't believe everything you see because you can see how easy it is to manipulate images. Yeah. So unless you were somewhere or somebody who was personally there, none of this, my friends had a friend who was there or, whatever, it's going to be to where if you're not there, don't believe anything. Don't get upset by it. Don't share something on. Yeah.
Is it still, are you done on that one?
It's almost done. It's 80. There you go. All right. So see, it creates a new one every single time.
All right. I want to see the face.
I was trying. Yeah. Last time it's not doing it this time. But
it did take a picture and put your hands across it and adjust
right.
it best. Did you tell it anything? Did you tell it any prompt at all?
Nope, just said animate, but it thought this was the back of somebody's head, so it had me walking backwards. It looked really weird. So anyway, it's something fun to play with. So all you have to do is either go into Meta AI or download the Meta AI app. And you can go and also just tell it like, hey, create any video you want. So you just come hit plus and then create a video and you can do whatever you want. So you come down here and just say, restyle my photo as anime, anything you want. So you can say create a video. Jumping. And then you can upload a picture. Let me see. I want to see what it'll show up as. But yeah, it'll create 4 or 5 different ones that you can do. So I did one just kind of playing around like me walking out on stage. And it was AI fake. But if it's something you want to just have fun with to capture people's attention, the Meta AI one's great. Sora, which you talked about. I haven't gone in and done a cameo with it yet. I've got my codes. I'm in it. I just haven't been able to do it.
Yeah, I think the problem is going to be government's going to get involved and put restrictions on this stuff because next thing you know, you're going to see. Because I mean, look at what Trump does with his planes and the other stuff. They have to put generated by AI. No kidding, really? You mean Trump doesn't know how to fly a plane? And you can't really dump poop on the ground out of a plane.
It's going to be very interesting because I put in there, I think people are going to use it to either rile people up or put disinformation out there.
Right. And that's what I think will happen. And so people are going to start jumping on this. I want to make sure it's really, is this AI? It's going to have a code AI generated on it all over the place. Just like when you send a thing with looks like a check in the mail, it says, this is not a check.
Yeah.
It's going to have to say, this is not a real video.
Well, and what should scare people is it didn't ask me, is this a picture of me? Right. It said, oh, let's just automate something. That's what I think is interesting. Like there's no fine line. It says, is this you? Can I create a video? It doesn't ask anything. It just goes and creates stuff. So like it turned this was a still shot. So that's not actually us talking at the podcast.
But what would be good about this, and that's what I'm doing over here with my quote generator, is you have a quote and it shows you guys talking and then it shows the quote. So like, let me just show one last thing, what I'm talking about. I don't have the videos done on it because I didn't want to take the time, but what it does is it grabs the quotes. And this is, if you look here, instead of the word host, it's supposed to say Ed Parcaut. That's what I have. But if you look at stop worrying about what's going on, go buy your house right now is the perfect time. Well, these are all different quotes that we have said in the podcast.
Right.
And it's grabbing really nice. I mean, and it's not AI generated ones. These are actually what we said. Yeah. Like this one I said yesterday, if you're waiting for 2026 to stay in the mortgage business or the real estate business, it's going to get better. Don't wait though, because it's only going to get better by like 7%. So in our area, in our county, that means there's 21 extra loans a month. Okay. With 1,500 people. That's really not a lot to reason to stay in the business. And so that's
unless you get all 21.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so with this, and then you can generate an animated video behind it. And I told it to grab it from the podcast, kind of what with the picture you did. That's kind of what I wanted to do is promote the podcast more than anything else. So you want to start promote. So with what you did, that would have been a great little thing with a quote that you could post, and then just above it with both of you guys just reacting to, because then there's your 11-second viral video that everybody will watch.
Yep. And that's what it's good for. So for what Ed's talking about is, algorithms are always changing all the time. And what they came out to say is short clips. What'd you say, 10 to 12 seconds?
Well, no, you told me that, remember you sent me somebody on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. That one lady, yeah.
Yeah. But then it actually told me the other day, 10 to 14 minute longer content is being pushed by
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard the same thing. So it's keeping up with all the different, it's basically what source are you going to use for what platform? There was a guy that was a YouTube expert who came on with Henry and everybody the other week, and all I put on my YouTube is shorts. He's like, you're wasting your time. You need to have more long form video. So it's all dependent on where's your audience, what platform, and then what AI tool do you want to use to customize something for your audience. And going back to high level, that's one of the things that they just put in there is now you can create and edit videos. You can create and edit things in high level instead of having to go to a third party and bring it in. But with so many new third parties, Microsoft supposedly just launched a new image generator that's going to compete with Midstream. Is that the name of it? Midjourney. It's supposed to be better than that. So you're constantly going to be rotating between things, and kind of like what Ed and I do, and Ed's way better at this than I am, is invest a little bit of money, play with everything, and figure out which tool is the right tool for you.
Here's what I'm building what I'm doing for me.
Right.
To make my content better. So here I built 2 other apps. One that looks at your website, fixes the SEO and AEO. Then I was like, oh, YouTube. The biggest problem you and I both have is people constantly tell us that we don't have like keywords, the right this, the right that. And so I created another one that's AEO tube that will fix all that. But I'm like, how do I fix it from the beginning so you don't have those issues? I can fix the past. Now let's fix it going forward. That's why I built this app that I'm doing, for me to use it for my podcast, because I do a live 5 days a week podcast, and there's no way to have VAs help me on that. Because that stuff's not evergreen right now. That's like I have to get it out now because it's about today and tomorrow. And so VAs take
do it because you do it 5 times a week. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure a way to do it. And this is why I built this out. It'll be finished. It's just, I got to stop adding to it and just finishing it.
Right.
But I think of an idea. I'm like, oh my God, let's do, hey, let's take a podcast. Like everybody says, do a book from your podcast. Well, why don't we grab audio and then have it transcribed for you in your voice? And that's what it does. The whole voice branding stuff, actually, after so many podcasts, it's at 30 minutes of podcast, but I have it where it does at least 5 podcasts, learns your voice, and then you can actually do intros and outros without you actually recording them.
That's awesome. And that's, that replaces things like people are going out to HeyGen to have to do that, or 11 Labs, all these other software.
11 Labs is in this thing.
Right. Well, I was going to say that. But.
No, but that's how but here's the difference. I was creating, the quotes. It wanted me to go use another service. And I said, can't we just do it ourselves? And it's like, oh, yes, you can. So it's created the whole thing itself. And so now I don't have to pay for that other service.
Somebody told me when you're in ChatGPT or Vibe apps or anything like that, it says, I don't know if I can do it. And it says, if you just say, yes, you can, figure it out, like the old Henry Ford motto, it actually finds ways to do it.
I always tell it, don't ever take no for an answer. But the biggest thing I have found, even this is on all AI, is the moonshot thing. Yes. When I'm trying to create stuff, it'll create it normally. And then I said, no, I need to make this a moonshot and then it will do more and add more and make it more robust, make it make it better so that it doesn't break to a certain point. That's what you have to talk to about, because it needs to know what you're trying to do. And that's how I built this out the way I have, by using that word. Otherwise, it would just be the way it was originally.
Exactly.
Anyway, we've been here for 33 minutes.
Yeah, let's get out of here. We'll be back. I'm working on who our Joker. I think I text you who I'm working on to be here on Thursday. So we shall see about that. But you want to take us out?
Yeah, I'll take us out. And if anybody wants to try out this for their podcast, let me know. I need some beta testers, and maybe Brian will actually try to record a podcast. He can record his why and then try to do this. But before I forget, one thing that's cool about this thing is it's not only going to post to the host, it's going to post to the co-host's social media also.
Oh, nice.
So it's a whole system. It's not just about the host. It's not just about the guest. It's about everybody, and it will auto do that, because I have everybody's social medias from the beginning. Right. And, and they can go in and, the guests, I got to send it to and have them do it, because I won't have theirs, but I have yours. right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so will it just send out on your behalf to make them a or what do you call it, a collaborator, or will it just post like on mine? You have my social media, obviously through
Well,
StreamYard.
you'll like, since we're hosts on
Yeah.
ACES53, you'll go in there and connect to your
Right.
social media inside there. You'll do it under your
Okay.
tab and connect. And so if you have a host and co-host, well, it'll always do both of ours. When we have a guest on, we'll have to do the collaboration or have them, because they're not going to let us send stuff to their social media. But one of the things I wanted to try to do is, because a lot of people are starting, they're not going to have high level.
Right.
But as they get going, then it will be connected to where you connected to your high level CRM, and then it can be uploaded to that, and then you can schedule it if you want.
Well, that's just it. There's so many different CRMs that are out there depending on what industry. And there's one called a Speaker Tool or something like that, Speaker Pro, and it's a CRM only for speakers. And that's the only thing it is. So there's Talkadot, there's all these other things. So just because we keep talking about high level, that's what we use. But to your point, you don't have to have that to get into what you're doing. So
no. You just need, but you do need a schedule. I have not put a schedule in here yet to schedule it, because I can add it later.
Yeah.
But there's so much. Let me get out of here. All right. Thanks, sir. Appreciate you being here today. All right, everybody, we thank you for being here. We hope we gave you a little bit of knowledge. And if there's some idea you have, don't wait. Go get Replit and just tell it what you want to build. Start with a small app and then move up from there. Don't do what I did. The problem is I've always wanted to create something like this. Has been something that's been bothering me, the cost and everything else. But anyway, that being said, we're here Tuesdays and Thursdays, ACES53. Brian, thanks for being here, and thank you for being here. If you like what we do here, just go subscribe to our YouTube channel and let us know underneath in the comments. Make it a great day.